I make about 20K a month online, and honestly, the way I do it is kind of boring. I help local businesses get more customers, and they pay me every month to keep doing it. So let me show you exactly what I sell. Using one example you'll get in about 10 seconds, and at the end of the video, I'll tell you how you can copy this whole thing yourself. Imagine this, you got a big tree in your yard that needs to be pulled out. What do? You grab your phone and you Google landscaper near me, and now look at what comes up. A list of landscaping companies. And be honest, you're going to call one of the top 3. Nobody scrolls to number 20. And now put yourself in the landscaper's shoes. How do you get into that top 3 instead of being buried down at the number 20? Because that's the difference between a business that's drowning and one that's booked out and earning money. And it comes down to 3 simple things I set up for them. And let me show you each one. Number 1, the website, but not the kind of website that you're picturing. Because most business websites are just a pretty online business card that sits there doing nothing with no function. What I do is I build them a machine, a website that actually shows up on Google and turns visitors into calls and clients. But here's where most businesses lose money without even knowing it. So someone lands on their site, types into the chat box something like, "Hi, do you do tree removal?" And that message goes into outer space because nobody ever replies, and if they do, it's slow. And then the customer waits a bit, gives up, and calls the next landscaper on the list, right? So here's what I fix. The second someone reaches out, they get a text back instantly. "Hey, got your message, I'll be right with you." And the owner gets pinged so they never miss it, a notification. And that one thing, just catching the leads they're already losing, is worth more than what I charge them. Number 2 is reviews, and this is the quiet engine behind the whole thing. So those top 3 businesses on Google, they're usually the ones with the most reviews. Google sees people that trust them, so Google pushes them higher. The problem is that most business owners are terrible at asking for reviews. They forget or they feel awkward doing it, so I take it off their plate completely. After every job, the customer automatically gets a friendly text, "Hope we did great, mind leaving a quick review." They did nothing, and the reviews just stack up because the system I built does it. More reviews, higher ranking, more calls, compounding in the background month after month. And that's the kind of thing a business would never set up itself, and it's a big reason that they keep paying me. Number 3 is my favorite because it's that simple and it saves them the most money, and it's almost identical to the text back function. Just now it is when someone calls the phone, so the callback function. So let me ask you a question. What happens when someone calls a business and nobody picks up? Well, maybe they're on their roof or they're with a customer, the owner or whatever. But normally that customer just hangs up and calls the next guy on Google. Gone. Money walked straight out of the door. So here's what I set up. Like the text messaging, the second they miss a call, the customer automatically gets a text, "Hey, sorry I missed your call, I'll call you back or grab a code here," or something. Now instead of calling the competitor, that customer waits because someone actually got back to them. So I just saved that business a job that they didn't even know that they were about to lose. So exactly like the text messaging on the website, but now just instead when someone calls them, they get an automatic text back. So step back and look at what they're actually getting, the business owner. A website that ranks high on Google, leads getting caught instead of lost, and reviews that climb high on their own, and missed calls that turn into customers. All of it running together for a few hundred a month. For a roofer, one extra job a year covers my fee, and I'll be honest with you because I won't pretend this is magic. Does it work perfectly every time? No. So some customers leave, and that's real business, and anyone who tells you otherwise is selling you a fantasy. But most of the time, it just runs. They pay every month, they get more customers, and everybody's happy. And that's the honest version. But 9 out of 10, they are staying at least a year because the website is part of their business system and operation, right? And think about it. I charge $297 a month or 400 Canadian. That is almost 4K a year. And let's say I get only one client every week, then that is $300 every week on top of the existing customers. In other words, after a year, it's an extra 15K a month. and that is a lot of money. And here's the part that should get you excited, because none of this is complicated. It's so easy. The tools to do all of this exist right now, and they are cheaper and easier to use than they have ever been. The only reason every local business doesn't already have this is that nobody's built it for them yet. If you got value from this video, hit subscribe, because I make videos like this every week, breaking down exactly how this stuff works with no fluff. And like I promised at the start, here's how you copy this yourself. I put the whole system in one place, every step, how I build each piece and how I find the business and exactly what I say to get them to say yes. It's the first link below. Go grab it. See you in the next video, and peace.